Hi Virgo, and welcome to Tony's Tarot and Astrology. So we're going to have a look at this new moon that falls on the 17th of July and 24 degrees Cancer, and we're going to look at what it's doing for Virgo, and then we're going to do a tarot spread to see what to expect for the month ahead. So new moons cover the month to month, and they set the stage or set the energy for what to expect for the month. So for Virgo, what's this sun moon this sun moon I was going to say midpoint. So the sun moon, new moon in Cancer is sitting opposite Pluto. Now it's very potent time with Pluto sitting opposite and exactly squaring the nodes. Now when I say exactly, Pluto is exactly squaring the nodes right now. Now this Pluto node combination is going to be going on until November, but with the sun moon a few degrees away from that point, it's triggering this combination. The Pluto node is very much about fated connections. It relates to slow transformation of things, Pluto, but with the node, this is all about connections from past and past life connections to future connections and to future direction. So the nodes describe where the node is in your own astrology, it will describe what your last lifetime was like, what your past has been like, and the North Node, which looks like this, describes what your future is going to look like, what you're here to do, what you're wanting to achieve for yourself, and what you can accomplish through others. So with this Pluto node, there's a lot of fated things here coming up to do with direction, what direction we're moving in, to do with the connections around us. So for Virgo, this is sitting in your with the nodes. It's moving because the node has been in the North node has been in Taurus and the South node's been in Scorpio. Now on the 17th, the nodes shift and they stay in a sign for about 18 months. So for the next 18 months, the nodes are going to be in Aries Libra polarity. Now the Aries Libra polarity is very much about relationships, with Aries being Mars and Libra being Venus. And so it's moving out of the whole area of security and what we are wanting to let go of into more of our personal relationships and what directions we're moving forward in. So for Virgo, you have the nodes moving, the south nodes moving into your second sector and the north nodes moving into your eighth sector. Now that's going to be the case for the next 18 months. So with the south node in your second sector, your sector of creating your own creating your finances, your values. This is relating to people from your past. The South Node has a lot to do with soul connections, soul family, people we recognise, people we connect with. So it's quite a important time to do with soul family and reconnecting up with soul family with you as it's moving into the sixth. Into the second. It's moving from the third. It's been in the third for the last 18 months, which has been quite a strong focus on siblings, family, and of course the third sector does relate also to soul connections, more those that you grew up with. But this is, as it moves into the second, it's going to be more of those that you can either be productive with or create with into that placement of your assets and your values. And so the North Node's going to be moving into the eighth sector for Virgo. And so with that, the eighth sector is all about releasing what you no longer want. It also can be very fortunate in the sense of connecting up with people that actually have already established a lot for themselves as far as security goes, because this relates to our assets again, and this relates to other people's money, inheritances, as well as what's been built up through the past and through family. So you also have the sun mode. Let me just put this on here. So for, like I was describing the nodes here, now you've got the Virgo has the sun moon opposite this Pluto sitting in the 11th sector and the 5th sector. So with the sun, moon, the focus is going to be on the 11th sector. The 11th sector is all about your, getting more out into the environment relative to community, to, working with others, teamwork. It's going to be quite a busy time. It's also going to be a really busy time because you've got Mars sitting here in your first house, and that's going to be relevant for the month as well. So with Mars here in your first, it's going to be a really busy time with work and action. It also could be a time when you're feeling very energized, where you're feeling, quite sporty, where you might want to take up some sort of physical activities. And it's also with the nodes getting involved with Mars, and this is a soft aspect, means that this is a really good time for adaptability and cooperation with others. So again, if it's relative to work, it means that your teams, if you're working in teams, and of course with the sun, moon there, that's going to be the focus, you're going to be able to achieve a lot and get a lot done. You've also got Jupiter, Uranus sitting in the 9th sector, and so that's your sector of where you're wanting to gain more knowledge and understanding, and so you could be interested in other cultures or other places. There's also a sense of wanting more freedom in your life, and also, possibly travel, wanting to do more travel. It's quite possible, or anything that makes you feel more liberated and more freer. So Saturn, Neptune, now this is also something that's been going to be going on for a little while. It's not just for this month, and it's not really being activated, except there is a trine to Sun, Neptune, Sun and Moon Neptune, and interesting opposite Pluto as well, because we've got like quite deep psychic stuff going on here. But with Saturn and Neptune here in your 7th, you may be uncertain about partnerships at this point, Virgo, or what's happening with partnerships. But I feel like this is a time of more of addressing fears and looking at commitment to do with connections, partnerships and relationships. So let's have a shuffle, look at what Virgo can expect for the next 4 weeks. I'll put out there the Empress, very productive. You can see with this Mars going on here, there's also a lot of nice Venus combinations going on, and Venus is, like I said, Venus is actually sitting in your 12th sector for Virgo at the moment, but it's making a what's called a yod, which is to Neptune Pluto. So this is going to be a very deep psychic time for Virgo, and a time when you might find you having really profound dreams or spiritual experiences, but ones that sort of feel more sensory, just more of a sense, or an elusive, or almost like you've gone off into another dimension. You're just staring at a wall. It's nothing sort of strongly tangible, because it's the 12th house. It's very more subconscious, and that's why I think it can come through dream space quite clearly if you're getting images coming to you through the psyche. And it's going to be a very psychic time for a lot of people, and also a really strong time to be looking deeply at what our needs are, what we're really wanting to achieve for ourselves. And for Virgo, it seems more to do with not looking at personal needs with the 11th sector, and the 5th, it's more like looking at the needs of others more, and Virgos are very good at that anyway. So let's have a look, Virgo. What can you expect? So you have the Ace of Cups here, and your soulmate card coming out here. So very nice time for love, nice time to be connecting up with people that you can have really special bonds with. Like I said, this nodal axis is going to be bringing up some deep stuff for you, some past life stuff, but also understanding yourself better through relationships and through connections. So there is a letting go of the past that's needing to happen for Virgo. And I think because the nodes are being activated, and you've got this North node sitting in your 8th house, is that right? Yes. And with this deeper stuff going on, so it's sort of a bit of a purging. It's like, what hasn't worked before? What do I need to let go of? What do I need to release? So Virgo is being told, let go of the past. You have such fantastic situations coming in the future. A reason to celebrate. Very good news. very good news around people. And again, this is going into the 11th sector of social connections and work, and what you can create with your mind. But it's sort of saying that anything that you've sort of been worried about, I feel, is coming up for you to let go of and release. Now, I tend to go to the bigger picture and then I'll come backwards, because your outcome is sitting here with the moon, the death, and financial. So this is telling me here that there's some patterns here that you're wanting to break. And the patterns aren't, I think, so much to do with, I mean, we could be talking about addictions with this moon card, but I feel it's more like pattern thoughts, patterned emotions, pattern responses to situations. Also, these cards are all about, down the bottom here, wanting you to receive, and the outcome sort of saying you're blocking it because you're scared of receiving, because that might mean that then there's a commitment. So again, this is where it's like you've got the Saturn and the Neptune sitting in that 7th sector, because there's a lot here about relationships. You've got the Lovers card to the left of you, so you're in a perfect time to be attracting connections, or to be adaptable and mutable and working out situations with family, or with strong relationships and connections around you, personal relationships. And with the Soul card here, and Soulmate card, and the sort of feeling of wanting to run away from situations that are a bit emotionally challenging, actually. But with the moon, I think it's really important. It's sort of saying, because I don't think there's anything here you need to run away from, unless there obviously is. Now, only you will know that. But what it's telling me is that you're actually in an adaptable time. You're in a time where if you're being scared of commitment, it's going to be in your face a bit. It's going to be coming up for you to look at, so that you can actually clear that. Now, if you've been in a situation and you're feeling like it's not been working out, you sort of can feel a bit stuck and not sure how to get out of this. So, Virgos, they don't jump in and out generally, not true Virgos. So, if they get themselves in a situation, sometimes they don't know how to get out. And if they spend too long worrying about how they can get out of these situations, even if it's work, they can become more commitment phobic the next time, because they know that they're going to give 150% as they do, to these situations. Now, it's just saying here that, looking, just be honest with yourself about what are you passionate about. Is what you're doing excite you? Because Virgo has so much to offer, whether it's relationship or work position. It's when you feel trapped that you really are going to be feeling this moon energy of going around in circles and not feeling like you can get out of that. And I think it's part of that is about, having to do it for money, because we've got the money card here, the receiving of money, you've got to pay a mortgage, etc., etc. With the death card there, it's just like, actually, somebody else can look after me. So those that have got good partners, you might want to have a discussion about that. You might also find that, you've got changes going on around partner, in new partnerships, or changes going on around existing relationships where they have changes that could bring you into a situation where you can actually make the changes you're wanting to make. So in other words, of course, you have to be practical in your Virgos, and of course, you can't just leave your job and you've got bills to pay. But it's sort of saying that if you don't feel stuck and you don't, and of course, you can't see a way out of it because there's nothing logically showing you a way out. I mean, there is always a way out, but you're feeling stuck. And when we're feeling stuck, we feel like we don't have a way out. This is saying that actually something different could happen. You could wake up one day and something has completely changed, and this allows you to fulfill and have the things that you're really wanting to do. Because again, here Virgo is really wanting to get on with something that's more in alignment with their own energy. And if you're feeling like you're dragging your feet or you're not enthusiastic about situations, it's because what it is, when you're putting in that much, you do want to receive. And at some point, Virgo, gets that. I need to receive back now. I've been giving and giving and giving, and what am I getting back? So, what you've got going on here seems to be a sort of opportunities to do different things, to be creating security in different ways, especially again around soul family. We've got the soul sister card here. This can relate to anyone as a soul family member. It can be brotherhood, sisterhood, great friendships. It could be our our own family, our children, our parents, you know, but it's like those that really resonate with us, those that we are in alignment with, and working on new things, new projects together for security. So, you know, it does look like you've got lots of good opportunities around you, and you've got this wonderful situation here where you can celebrate that is going to bring in change, because you might feel stuck, but then you haven't considered, you know, that something around somebody else could change that could actually open a door up for you and be your solution. Because, you know, it looks like you're really ready to make some changes. If there's any issues around adaptability, again, you know, you're going to be going through this stuff with the 8th sector being activated with the North Node. And so, you know, it's like you're going in for a deeper experience. Don't be scared. And you know, if you do feel like these situations you're wanting to get out from, you know, this card here is sort of saying, and it's not that you're not wanting to be around, like say it's a person. It's like you love this person. It's very clear that you love this person, but you're just sort of feeling like just not wanting to be in that energy of what's going on there. But it's sort of saying that, you know, you're always going to come back to it. It's not, you're not leaving anything behind, but you just need to remove your energy out of it a little bit and keep some for yourself. So again, Virgos have been worrying about money or something that they're wanting to get on with, especially if it's to do with their own thing and their own passion. Well, then they will be receiving some really good news. Like I said, you know, in the near future, there is a solution to some difficult situations, because it's sort of this feeling of, I don't want to do this anymore for security or for work, for money. I want to do it because I'm excited about it. So you've got a new energy coming in. Spirit is saying, don't worry, we're helping to sort situations out. Don't be scared of anything that's happened in the past. It's a time to be looking at the future. You know, history doesn't repeat itself, not when you've become fully aware of the lesson and the growth. And, you know, the only reason it does sometimes come up for us to look at with the past is really just for us to understand it a bit better, because it's an opportunity to recognise again what it is and what we did learn from the whole situation. So exciting times, and you know, you could just have a fated situation, and this is what the nodes are in the 2nd and 8th as well. It's sort of like fate will just bring in the right people at the right timing, and you could just have a fated situation of connecting with the right person for the right situation, for the right opportunity, for career, for the right relationship if you're not in one. Or the other thing this could be is also, you know, your partner could just something really exciting around them. That could be a big leg up for them. It means that you can sort of sit back, relax, and do more of what you love to do. So I hope you enjoyed that, Virgo. I'll see you next time.